Welcome back to Heroic Book Adventures. I'm Steve, and luckily I had enough time left to sneak in one more Western for the June on the Range Booktube reading event. And I'm very happy because Louis L'Amour's The Cherokee Trail ended up being one I really enjoyed. And I feel like because it's got a female main character and the way the storyline goes, that it's actually a really good entry point for female readers that would like to try reading a Western but don't want a romance or a macho tough guy all male cast sausage party thing going on. So I feel like any ages, any audience is likely to enjoy this one. So during the American War of Secession, Mary and her family's plantation is ransacked by a group of marauders. They're not fighting for either the Union or the Confederacy. They're just a group of ruffians taking advantage of innocent people amidst the chaos of the war. So they get out of there with their lives, but their home is burned down and all their livestock stolen. So they're left there with nothing in the middle of a war zone. So they decide to take their little girl and accept a job as basically running a stagecoach station in Colorado. So as they make the trip over there from Virginia to Colorado, they get there and Mary's husband is murdered. So she's like, well, what am I going to do now? She is in a situation where she still has to go there by herself with her daughter and make this job work. And everybody's telling her, well, the frontier is no place for a woman. It's too dangerous. You shouldn't do it. And she's like, well, I don't have any other options. It's just something I need to make it work. So she goes there, and of course, the place is in rundown condition, poor previous management. So she's tasked with getting it back up and running, making everything nice, putting good food for the travelers, and keeping the barns clean with fresh horses for the stagecoaches to switch out as they're traveling. And while she's there working, she finds out that there's a very powerful man in the area who he aspires to be governor. So he's needs to have a clean reputation. But when he had seen Mary's husband, he was the one that murdered him because he recognized that the powerful man was actually the leader of the group that burned down their home. So this man is like, well, I can't let him be running his mouth telling everybody that of the dastardly deeds I had done back in Virginia. I need to keep a clean reputation for my political aspirations. So when she finds this out, Mary's like, well, if he was willing to kill my husband, it goes without saying he's going to want to silence me as well. So we follow Mary and her little ragtag group of helping hands around the station as they're trying to run this place well, while at the same time being under the threat of this very powerful man that would like to see Mary killed. This was a very good, fun adventure. Well-written characters, very likable. Despite its, small size, they were still fleshed out really well. The story kept going, was never boring at any point. I'll give this one an 8.5 out of 10. You're not going to find like literary excellence in something like this, but that's not what it was going for. This is meant to be more like just a fun action adventure story, and it delivered on it. In a lot of ways, it kind of reminded me of reading like a Edgar Rice Burroughs book. Different genre, of course, but I just mean the writing style, where it's just a light, fun, easy read. So I want to thank Michael K. Vaughan and the other host of June on the Range, because this motivated me to read something that I probably would not have picked up otherwise. I feel like if you're a Western reader, you'll like the Cherokee Trail. And even if, like me, you're not a Western reader, it's still something worth giving a try. Like I said, it just kind of got that mass audience appeal to it. And I can certainly see why Louis L'Amour is so well loved for his writing. I was telling Jeff at Jeff's Cave of Cool Books about how when I was a kid, we used to watch the Ghostbusters cartoons like over and over again. And I remember there was this one episode where the boys go to Texas. And while they're there, Peter and Ray keep talking the entire time about how much they love Louis L'Amour novels. So from the time I've been a kid, it was just always like imprinted in my brain that Louis L'Amour is like the king of the Western genre. So now I've gotten to finally read for myself one of his novels and see what it's all about. And I really enjoyed it. And I'd be open to trying more of them if I happen to run into them. Because I got really lucky on this one. You know, it was one I just randomly picked up because I liked the cover on it. And it turned out to be a really good gem. It's a Lou Glanzman cover. And seeing Mama Bear there holding her rifle in that posture like she's not going to take shit from anybody, just like, yeah, you got my attention. And wraps around and just a beautiful cover. So sometimes you get lucky with a score like that. It's one I will certainly be reading again, though. So if you want to try a Western, no matter what your reading experience is or what type of reading audience you are, I think this is a pretty good entry point. So I will see you rifle-toting heroes on our next stagecoach adventure.